One of the things I fear the most, we're trying to get my wife off the ventilator. She's been breathing well enough where they think it's possible tomorrow that she's going to get off the ventilator. But one of the things I fear the most is because of all of the tumors in her brain and the pressure of all that liquid. I mean, they got that liquid out with the EVD, with that temporary report, but still the pneumonia. This girl's been through the mill and back, you know. Is that, will she be cognitively, you know, coherent? Will she be okay? And I speak to the nurses and they told me something different. They tell you something different every day. It's what I can't stand about the whole medical, field. I know they don't mean anything by it, and they're just trying to keep it professional, keep it real, but they change their stories a lot. One minute they tell you A, and then the next minute they tell you B. So like for the past 2 days, I'm like, do you think my wife is coherent? Do you think she understands you? They're like, yes. Oh, she's following orders. Great. We ask her, questions and she's nodding, but like where it's like she's coherent. Are you Jennifer? Are you Diane? Do you know you're in a hospital? You're getting treated for the cancer. It's like, so she's nodding in a way, proving she understands the questions and she's following instructions and everything that's a good thing, right? But then the nurse is telling me today something different. She's telling me something different. She's like, when I give her short and sweet questions, excuse me. When I give her short and sweet questions, she answers them very quickly and very easily. But if I talk to her, like meaning in like a prolonged sentence, like, she seems to be confused. That's not good. So in other words, if she gave her like a long sentence, like, Jennifer, do you know how long you've been here in the hospital? You started off getting treated for pneumonia. Do you know, has it been longer than a week? Like, in other words, a longer statement, a longer sentence. She's saying that she's confused. So that's not a good sign. And that's one of the greatest fears I have now, is that if she comes out of this, if she comes out of the ventilator, I have to say, the Jennifer I know would not be happy in the current situation she's in right now, being on a ventilator. They have her restrained because they don't want her to pull any tubes out. It freaking creates a nightmare. This is a nightmare. And she's got tubes, the breathing tube down the throat, the food tube down the throat. I mean, they tell me at times they don't even have her on sedation. Like right now, she's not on sedation. Before she was on sedation, but right now she's not. And I'm thinking to myself that if Jennifer was in her right state of mind, the Jennifer I know, I think she would be panicking. I think she'd be like, get this out of my throat, get these effing restraints off me, and she would probably be like freaking out, but it doesn't seem like that's the case. And I don't know why. It seems like she's relaxed. It seems like she's calm. And that makes me wonder, is she calm because she was sedated? They say that they don't have her sedated. She's not on sedation. So does she know what's happening? Like, does she have any idea what's going on? That's what's scaring me the most. And that's going to be the biggest heartbreak to me. The biggest heartbreak is that if they take her off this ventilator and tomorrow I start talking to her. I did have an experience. It was about a week ago. This is right when she started, like she was slowly stopping speaking. At this point, this was like a week ago, where they were treating her only solely for the pneumonia. She was speaking very little, but at this point, understand, she still had all that liquid in her brain. It was causing a lot of pressure, and she was sedated. But I remember asking her questions like, do you know who your daughter is? And she was like, she said, Diane? Is that Diane? Her daughter's name is Sophia. So it was stuff like that was really freaking me out and scaring me. But the doctors were telling me at that point, Rich, we got to do this procedure. We got to get the liquid out of the brain. She's highly sedated. I wouldn't take it to heart right now. So that's why the true judge is if, when they get her off the ventilator, they take the tubes out of her throat, the breathing tube and the food tube, and she speaks, we're going to be able to determine if she's of sound mind and if she's not, that's going to be the most heartbreaking thing for me and my family. Because we want to at least talk to her, we want to tell her things, I always told her how I feel. I always told her how much I loved her. It's just heartbreaking. It's a heartbreaking situation. As all of you know, my family is going through an extremely difficult time, and I do have a service. We're going through the hardest time in our life. It's called the Thank You Song Service. Any small entertainment tip on my Cash app which is the $Richard Levoi. That is RichardLe101. Oh, excuse me. I'm giving you my email address. You see how screwed up I am? You see how screwed up I am? My Cash App, completely dismiss what I just said, is the Richard Levoi. RichardLevoi. I'm sorry, I'm dealing with a lot. Please forgive me. Please forgive me. Bryan Adams, I don't know what I do. Please forgive me, Jennifer. I can't stop loving you. It's got a lot on my mind, a lot of my heart, a lot of stuff going on. Please forgive me. But again, my Cash App is the Richard Levoi, which is no space, no underscore in between my first and last name. The Richard Levoi, RichardLevi as in Victor, OI. Any small entertainment tip on my Cash App, I will write the thank you song for you. It's going to be an instrumental jazz piece, something like this. Nice blues, That's just my way of saying thank you for helping my wife and my family at our greatest, most difficult time of need right now. God bless you and God bless your family. All of this information is in the description of this video. Please read the description of this video. Thank you and God bless you and your family.